You guys build some serious shit. Really done your homework on some of the things that we need in the industry.
Pleasure to be a part of this Icom.
Oh, well, likewise, man. This is a great project we got going on, for sure.
Agree.
Just like that conversation we were just going, just roughly breaking down those numbers, we could easily save that guy $250,000 a year on just those 10 trucks.
And
How many trucks are you running up and down the highway right now?
11.
11 gas trucks.
Gas, they're all gas force.
How many miles a year are you doing on that truck?
Varies. 100 and close to 100.
So call it 100,000 miles per truck. It's about 40,000 a month.
And that includes our rotation trucks too that go.
Right.
But they don't drive much.
Right. So $40,000 a month, you're talking close to $500,000 in fuel costs a year. So we can cut that by 50%. What would that do for your business?
Oh, of course.
We could easily save that guy $250,000 a year. $250,000 a year. $250,000 a year.
Propane conversion on the truck it's actually gonna extend the life of the engine.
a lot of people are not aware of the safety factor of the propane.
There are over 2,000 Bluebird school buses running on propane. Been crash tested, safety tested. Propane steel tank, it's a 1/4-inch steel tank, ASME certified. On a structural standpoint, much more rigid and stronger than a gasoline tank or a diesel tank.
Propane is very safe. 960 degrees to ignite propane versus half that for gasoline, right?
The savings is immediate. There's nothing else that will have a bunch of an impact on savings as putting a propane system on your vehicle.
Right now it's 10,995.
Hi, I just saw it popped on my Instagram. I'm like, hey, we gotta go check it out.
Do they work with gas and diesel or not just gas?
Just gasoline engines right now. We do have a diesel system. It just won't make sense for the light duty medium market.
Do you only work with Ford right now?
We do Fords and GMs. So I can do Fords 2009 and newer and GMs 2010 and newer. This tank gives you 55 gallons usable of propane. If this were a CNG tank, divide that by 4. Our headquarters is in Michigan. We've got 130 dealers across the US. So everything we sell is EPA certified, so we don't void vehicle warranty. And our systems come with a 3-year 70,000. 3-year 70,000.
Get you a diesel, sure. Can I ask you why you're not interested in propane? Because we just talked to a guy, we could have saved him $250,000 a year. Propane would cost you $1 per gallon.
I don't know if the power is.
Liquid injection is a horsepower increaser. It goes in the motor negative 40 degrees. So motors love a cold charge, and that's what this gives it. So don't think it doesn't have the power, because it does. The V10s that the Ford offer are very torquey.
Where you fill it up?
Yeah, so we're bringing a fuel provider. Actually, here locally we have Delta Liquid Energy. Little or no cost, they'll put a station on site, and they also have public stations throughout the city where you can actually fill your trucks.
The way the system works, it starts on gasoline for 40 seconds, switches to propane automatically. When and if you run out, switches back to gasoline. So you have 2 fuel systems on board that you could stay working all day. You don't have the same inherent issues with the Detroit Record product that you do with others. A pin-eye seal on every single pin on every single bushing. No other manufacturer will give you a lifetime warranty on Pins, bushings, craftsmanship, control handles, control rods. Look at these bed locks. These bed locks are 3 feet long. You literally can slide this bed 6 inches into this lock and have 2.5 feet of overhang. So the 19-foot bed now turns into a 21-foot bed. Every high-low.
One question, is the truck a good dealer?
No problem. Does not void the warranty.
Because the propane,
No.
they're not gonna
No,
plug it?
does not void the warranty, I promise you. It is EPA certified.
EPA says-
Correct. And that's a good question, and I'm glad that you asked it because it does not.
Because you know the dealers out there.
This is sandblast and powder coat. It won't come off like regular paint. You know, regular paint is very bubbles after a year or
You have
two.
all the-
Whatever you
come
want.
over there.
No, we can deliver it for you. That's not a problem.
How many gallons?
55. Plus the 30-gallon of gas.
How long is it gonna go 55?
Same as gas.
7 gallons.
Yep, it's within 8% of the same
How
amount.
many miles?
So gasoline, you'll get about 9. This gets like 8.5. This way, the driver never has to stop for fuel. He has 2 fuel systems on board.
If you can put a more big tank, change that tank?
Yes, we absolutely can. We can order your truck with a rear gas tank. Our equipment will accommodate a rear tank. Notice how it's a 2-piece pin system. You can actually take the nut and bolt. It squeezes the plates together over this 1/4-inch thick bronze oil impregnated bushing. My biggest problem is guys don't grease when they say it. So if you can't beat them, join them. Here you go. Here's a bronze bushing with grease in it. Have at it. It'd take you 10 years to neglect that and burn it up. Correct. And here's another. That's the wheelet pivot pin. So check this out. You know how every hydraulic cylinder's got a rubber seal? They call it a wiper seal.
Yeah.
Do me a favor and push that through all the way. Do you feel the resistance and the tolerance that has?
Yeah.
What that means is no water, no debris is ever going to get inside there. So imagine we put a little bit of squirt of grease into that. How long is it going to last? Where is it going to go? Look at the 3-foot bed locks.
Yeah, that's huge bed locks.
Huge. So what that means is when 3 feet of surface contact on them rails means she is not going to rattle and shake. You know, they got the whole weight of a car on a 6-inch piece of plastic that wears out. Go figure. You got to buy another one all the time. This, when you slide this bed and only have it in 6 inches, you got 2.5 feet of overhang. Now you can have a longer load that a normal 19-foot bed wouldn't accommodate. My 19-foot bed will turn into a 21-foot bed. You know, and that's what you're not going to get with anybody else but us. The unit is sandblasted and powder coated. The control handles are stainless steel. There's bronze bushing on these. There's a lifetime warranty on this handle. Feel that. That's military industrial grade.
That's tight.
Do me a favor, bend down here. Look at this bed pivot pin. That's 1.5 inch nut and bolt. You can tighten it.
That's crazy.
This is made in Detroit, means it's made Detroit record tough.
It's nice. I like the bed too. It's got some grip in it. That's a beautiful truck.
You'll never buy another piece of equipment, you know.
We're in the market for deck trucks all the time. What would it take to get one of these to Canada? Do you ship them? Like,
Yeah, whatever. If you would have to buy the chassis in Canada and send it to me, or get a used chassis, and I'll install the equipment. And once I build the product and you have it, you see how it's assembled.
I can see that. It's amazing.
Brother, I really appreciate you saying that because
And what that seal is going to do for you is it's going to prevent all the corrosion from getting on the inside of there. So for years to come, if you simply grease this, nothing's going to get in, nothing's going to get out. You know, and this is at every single pivot point on every single cylinder on this unit.
everything is stainless steel. This thing, feel that. That thing weighs probably 70 pounds right there by itself. This is stainless steel. The control tray it's bolted to is stainless steel. Every handle is stainless steel. Even the rod that it pivots on is stainless steel.
Yeah, you got a light there. It's beautiful. I love it. I can't tell you how much I appreciate just to walk around, you taking the time to spend with me.
No,
I want
anytime,
to go
brother.
back.
We've got a 9-degree load angle on a Ford F550 here with standard stock suspension. So, I mean, we've got a truck at the shop right now, it's an 8-degree load angle with the bags dumped.
I'm here with George that bought a little Hercules a couple years ago, and George,
How is that little Herc?
Best thing ever bought.
If I get it done in Detroit, I'm not going to have to worry about breaking down in California. You want it done right, have the guys in Detroit do it. I don't think anybody does what Detroit Record does.